Yo, what is going on, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new locals feature match. We are in round 2 for March 25th locals, and we've got C Goody, the once Sword Soul master, now on the Cash-Teer deck, versus Jeff on the Jeff strategy. If you watch the channel long enough, you know Big Killer Jeff is on the Jeff technique. So let's see how this one plays out. We will see C Goody not summon Mo Yi, but summon Kashtira Unicorn. And then follow that up after searching Theosis by activating Pot of Prosperity, going all the way for a 6 banish, 6 deep, reeling Ash, double Ash, Imperm Unicorn, Ogre, and a Butch de Mundes. So we will see what he is going to take, and that was really fast. I didn't catch what he took there. So we'll see him go ahead and follow the Prosperity up with Theosis and bring out another Cash-Teer from the deck. From the deck. It's going to be Fenrir. Also, I'd like to remind you guys right now, if you didn't realize already, for the past couple weeks on the side of all my videos, whether you're on mobile or desktop, there is a fundraiser attached. And we are currently raising money for the Clean Air Task Force alongside the duration of the current ongoing One Deck 1 Month series for Photon Galaxy. So if you guys would like to donate to help support an amazing nonprofit cause to help fight climate change, please, please, please feel free to do so. We do have donation incentives for $250, $500, $750, and if we hit the goal of $1,000, which I've detailed in the One Deck 1 Month videos. Giveaways, exclusive one-of-a-kind live streams on Twitch. Community gets to vote for One Deck 1 Month the next deck, and a meme deck getting to be played on One Deck 1 Month, which is going to be Earthbound Immortal, which low-key there are some level 10 support cards coming out, which is kind of oddly timed. But either way, we're going to see Kashtira do Kashtira things. You guys have probably seen this deck combo about 1,000 times at this point if you keep up with the meta pretty regularly. Getting into the Arise Heart, which is the standard board really for the deck, so it doesn't auto-lose to Nibiru. Ending on a Macro Cosmos, few set back row, and some follow-up is pretty good. Not only is Arise Heart a macro, but it also is a quick effect attach 3 to banish a monster the opponent controls face down. Very, very oppressive card, but we'll see if Dino has what it takes. We know this deck is more than capable of breaking a board in several different ways. Dogoran is a hell of a card. Interrupted Kaiju Slumber is a mainstay in the Jeff technique. So if you know, you know. So we are going to see the Goliath get attached from the banished pile, since the card was banished. Rise Heart mandatory effect. So interestingly enough, the Infinitrack Goliath is going to give whatever, I think it's Machine Xyz that is attached to, the added effect where it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So it's going to make it just that much more difficult for the Dino deck to get over. I mean, not really. Let's be honest here. The Dino deck rarely uses destruction as a form of removal. I mean, I guess Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, it does kind of play around Slumber, but they really would have activated Slumber to start things off had they already had it. It's very clear. I mean, at this point, they don't have it or they don't know about Goliath. And they've also now attached Garura, Wings of Resonant Life, underneath it. So if the Arise Heart now does get cleared, they do kind of make up for that loss of a body in that of a draw. So we're going to see 2 Fossil Digs, actually. I think that second Fossil Dig grabbing the Oviraptor. And Oviraptor is going to go ahead and go through here. And that's going to search out Dogoran. And, yeah, you know, he already knows what's coming here, right? Every Kashtira player's worst nightmare if they decide to end on a Rise Heart pass. Or even if they go for zone locks. Like, Kaijus are just the end-all, be-all out for these particular boards. So, yeah, doing everything he can right now before he loses the Arise Heart inevitably here. So, we're going to use the quick effect to detach 3, banish the Oviraptor face down. And then mandatory effect to attach. And just to get... probably I think that was Rise Heart back into the graveyard. Dogoran will come down, and before you know it, Garura effect engraved into the grave. So then go ahead and draw a card. So again, they can kind of make up for that loss of a body. I mean, they still get a 3K body on field in the form of Dogran and a draw there, so not so bad. Miscellaneous Source will come down, activating the effect in hand, then activating the graveyard effect immediately after. That's going to get ashed. Then Double Evolution Pill is free to resolve here, banishing a Visa Starfrost, low-key Dino support, as we've known, and a copy of Giant Rex. He's always got that Giant Rex on deck, just always there, waiting in the wings to be banished and resummoned off of Double Evolution Pill, as we are seeing now. Of course, Giant Rex bringing itself back out, and then we'll go into the battle phase, but we're going to see a Book of Moon get activated in the battle phase, setting that face down, and then we're going to see the Scareclaw Cache summon itself by banishing Theosis, prompting Theosis to add back Birth, and now the Kashtira deck has survived, I think, the worst of it. Also, reminder, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So that's going to bring back Fenrir. Fenrir will add Unicorn, normal summon Unicorn, again without tributing because of the continuous like effect of Birth, or normal or level 7 monsters can be normal without tributing. And I believe they added another copy of Theosis there. And now it's just kind of cleaning up here, which should be rather easy for this Cash-Teer deck to do. So they're going to use Theosis to bring out the Rise Heart. They're going to banish a Theosis, another Theosis from the deck. That's going to add back Unicorn. Opponent will banish top 3 off the top of the deck. They're going to go for Dark Armed, the Armageddon Dragon. And then detach, pop, banish a Dark. Do it again, detach, pop, banish. I don't think it has to banish a Dark. I think it just banished a monster from grave. But then, yeah, that is plenty of damage on board to go ahead and go for game there. So we are into a game 2 situation where we are going to see the Kashtira deck be made to go first, even though the Dino deck did lose. So, I mean, they had the option to go first, but clearly passing that option up to want to go second is the Jeff technique. Typically enjoys going second because of the Kaijus, the Board Breakers, Droplets, Raigekis, Interrupted Slumbers, right? So we'll see if the Jeff technique ends up pulling through here. Unicorn, Fenrir, Rise Heart, Theosis, into Shangri-Ira, Rise Heart, banish the Big Bang from the deck, and prompting the opponent to banish the top 3 face down. And this is going to prompt Shangri-Ira to go ahead and lock a zone since cards were banished face down. Now, a lot of the power spells that the Jeff technique tends to use, well, a lot of the power cards, I should say, are spells and traps. So going to go ahead and lock zones here in the spell and trap zone. Keep them off things like Raigeki, keep them off things like Interrupted Slumber, Double Evolution Pill, Fossil Dig, Forbidden Droplets, just to name a few. Harpy's Feather Duster is going to go ahead and banish Relinquish Anima with Diablosis the Mind Hacker. Card was banished face down. Lock another zone, and then force the opponent to banish cards face down off the top of their deck, equal to the number of face down cards they currently have banished. And that is going to, again, prompt Shangri-Ira to lock another zone. And we'll see if they have what it takes if to go for the full lock 5. They're going to bring back Fenrir with Birth and slap a Rise Heart on top of that. Since they've already used the Rise Heart effect, they can basically exchange into a Rise Heart, and they can't lock all 5 zones there. Unfortunate. I always feel like it seems very pointless to go for any kind of zone lock if you can't fully lock out 5 monster, 5 spell and trap, because you leave your opponent with 2 spell and trap zone. You might as well just be leaving them with 5. I guess I feel like with most decks, unless you're playing like unless you're like a backer heavy deck, right, where you want to be setting 5, and setting 2 is basically pointless almost. But against a combo deck like this, they're gonna have board breakers. Like, you just need to play 1 board breaker at a time. It's not like you need to have 3 or 4 on the field at any given point. And not that it matters anyways. Jeff technique coming in clutch there. There's Godarla, he says. Put it right over top the Shangri-Ira. And of course we're gonna prompt the Arise Heart here. But we are also gonna see Lost World get slapped down onto the board. And there it is, Interrupted Kaiju. Slumber Man's had the out twofold. So We'll see this Slumber go ahead and fully resolve, clearing all monsters on the field. At least they get to keep Birth in the situation. So they're going to go ahead and grab Gamma-Seal as one of the Kaijus and Kumungus as the other. Importantly, you know, keeping Kumungus for themselves. I mean, it does have higher attack, but it's also a level 7. And giving them the level 8 Gamma-Seal. Normal summon Oviraptor. And it's going to be Chain Link 1 Oviraptor, Chain Link to Lost World. And you've got to use the Imperm there on the Oviraptor, or else you aren't using it at all because the Lost World is such an insane card. And not to mention that, a lot of the cards and effects in the Kashtira pool, extra deck, main deck, etc., rely on targeting certain things, Fenrir for example. And if that Lost World token's on board, not only are you just preventing them from summoning Cash-Teer monsters outright because you just put a random body on board, but you're also turning off some of their key effects. Big Eye, Dracosex effect to pop. If they even play Dracosex, Dark Armed, I don't know if that one targets or not, but Fenrir, all that stuff, just to name a few things. And they're going to go for Visa Starfrost, get into Baron, double evolution pill. The onslaught continues. And they're going to use Baron to pop the token there, I think. And then they're going to save it with Lost World. And that's going to prompt, you know, to destroy a baby. Baby effect to summon another baby. And then just battle phase here. Clear the board. And it looks like they'll just go ahead and pass after that, taking quite a bit of damage there. So they do have the Omni Negate live. They've got basically the Book of Eclipse. And also, once it destroys that Baby Ceratosaurus, the UCT, they can go ahead and bring out Pankratops. They can bring out, I don't know if they can bring out Quatlus Overtex. They can bring out Pankratops. Or they can bring out like an Oviraptor, and then Oviraptor can search a Dogoron to have his follow-up to answers anything they might have. They're going to summon Fenrir here. And on summon a Fenrir, they're going to go ahead and use UCT to destroy the baby, to book it. And then baby brings out Oviraptor here. And they use Mourner to, in quotes, negate it. But they can't actually do this. So this was a mistake that was made here. You can't... Well, you can use Mourner here, but just the way it works is, you know, if you're a turn player, the way that Mourner is worded and the type of effect that it is, Mourner has to be Chain Link 1 because you're a turn player. So your quick effects and stuff like go on the first thing on the chain. So that would make Oviraptor Chain Link 2. So Oviraptor would resolve, searching a card, and then Mourner resolve, negating it. So Mourner is pretty pointless on your turn most of the time. Which is, especially for like on summon effects, it's like useless. Going second, it's just like basically Veil or Imperm, but going on your turn using it, it's not a good card sometimes. I wish I knew offhand immediately the exact reasoning to why, but I'm sure somebody in the comments can explain, just because that's just a Yu-Gi-Oh moment, really. That's literally all it is. So we're going to see Dino made to go first here strategically, because the Dino deck, at least he knows the Jeff technique, loves to go second, especially after what we saw in Game 2. His opening hand is just Petit Pteranodon into Visa Starfrost, pop it, try to summon off the baby. There's Ash, that Imperm pass, and we're going to see the Cash-Teer deck start with Ogre, go into the Rise Heart. That's going to banish Unicorn from the deck, make the opponent banish 3. There is Big Bertha. Birth is going to bring out the Unicorn. Unicorn is going to attempt to go ahead and search for Theosis here, and there's the Ash Blossom. And a new Chain Links here. We're going to have the Ogre, and we're also going to have the Unicorn activate. This is going to go ahead and rip a card from the extra deck, get rid of Baron the Floor. And then we're going to go ahead and look at the top 5, banish one of them face down, and return the rest back exactly how they were. So he's going to banish the Slumber and return the rest back to the top of the deck. And getting one more look at that, making sure they're returned in the order that they were revealed in. And from here, don't think an OTK is necessarily possible. Maybe, I mean, an OTK would be kind of ideal, because knowing the Jeff technique, all my years of seeing the Jeff technique work and how it operates, you might think that well, I mean, technically, they probably were expecting to go second regardless, so there are probably still plenty of going second cards within the deck, maybe kaijus, etc., etc. So trying to go for game here could be more than advantageous, or at least not making a board that's going to lose super hard to... Well, actually, that is just game outright. Yeah, so going for the OTK is important here because they could, again, have like a Slumber in hand or kaiju. I mean, they know the top deck now because of the Ogre, but that is going to be game. He does find a way, and he does have the pill. That would have been great follow-up, too, if had he not gone for game there. So that is going to do it. Huge thanks to our Divine Level channel members, our Misfit, H8 Cyber, Cadillac 84, and Pony Stark. Thank you guys so much, as always, for extremely kind and very generous support of my channel.